Why let this world just weigh upon your shoulders? Pick it up, push it off before you let it get you colder. Just look into the eyes, good eyes of a child. See that love rise like a river and flow for 1,000 miles. Give me some peace, love, happiness. Say peace, love, happiness. Peace, love, happiness. Peace, love, happiness. Give it to me. Breathe in deep, feel your heartbeat just to know that life's worth living. Feel your feet on the earth, you better love it while it's still spinning. Got no time to worry about troubles or misgivings. Need to let it flow, let yourself go, cause if you're hating then you just ain't living. Give me some peace, love, happiness. Peace, love, happiness. Peace, love, happiness. Come on, peace, love, happiness. Oh, peace, love, happiness. Yes, a lot of people talking, need somebody to listen. A lot of people struggling. If you got, then you just be, let's be giving. Give us some peace, love, happiness. Give us some peace, love, happiness. Come on. You gotta give it up. Can we eat this daily bread when so many people are starving? How come the presidents built more bombs when they should be disarming? All that money spent on guns, not food and education. Need to buy a little peace of mind, start healing the nation. Give me some peace, love, happiness. Yeah, give me some peace, love, happiness. Tell them peace, love, happiness. Give us some peace, love, happiness. Peace, love, happiness.
Please join me in prayer. We know that there's only one life, one perfect life, that life is God. That life belongs to each and every one of us here in this space, everyone within the sound of my voice, everyone in the city of Aurora, state of Colorado, everyone on this planet and everyone in this universe. I'm so grateful to be able to give thanks that we come together to celebrate joy, knowing that happiness is our natural state. I know that everything that takes place here today will be absolutely perfect in every way as we come together to celebrate our oneness and our connection to divine source. In this season of gratitude, I give thanks for every beautiful expression of the divine in this space. Everyone here, everyone on planet Earth, all people everywhere, we are one with that divine power, and we are each unique and divine expressions of that perfect life, who shine in our own ways, as only each and every one of us can, according to our gifts. I release these words into divine law where they're already done in the universal mind. I let this go, I let it be. Together we affirm, and so it is. What a beautiful bunch. It's so good to see all of you here. And I'd like to say before I get started how grateful I am for all of the love and support that all of you give me and give to each other and give to this community. It just helps to make a world a better place here, and we're doing our part. So I've got some words of inspiration from the Dalai Lama, some from Ernest Holmes, as we celebrate the joy of being, happiness as enlightened living. So our first quote is that we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. The second quote from the Dalai Lama, compassion is what the heart knows when it recognizes truth. And from our founder, the Honorable Dr. Ernest Holmes, every evidence of human experience, all acts of kindness and mercy have interpreted themselves through man's self-knowing. Nikki did mention kindred spirits who meet on the second Saturday of every month. And this month, coming up in December, we have a special event with kindred spirits. Our own Liana Lansing and her choir group, Never on Sunday, are going to be doing some tunes for us on the 13th at Kindred Spirits, second Saturday of the month. You don't want to miss that. She's quite the singer. And we're so glad that you're here. So we do fun things. We have other uplifting events and workshops, but that's our service wing where we talk about how we're going to be a service to other folks around us. So you don't want to miss that. Get that musical treat. And we're looking forward to that. I think we may even get her to sing during Advent at some point in time, too. Who knows? You never know. So we're going to talk today about the joy of being, happiness as enlightened living. That's me. They got my good side on there. I just wanted to provide evidence that I actually do clean up from time to time, you know. Yeah, I was all cleaned up and well-groomed that day, you know. So what we learn here in Centers for Spiritual Living is that we live life from the inside out. And the Dalai Lama says that happiness is the natural radiance of an awakened and unburdened consciousness. What a brilliant man. We've had the opportunity to explore the big book of happiness, the Dalai Lama's big book of happiness this month. And he says that happiness is our natural state. And it is our natural state, you know. He also says that happiness is a spiritual practice, a way of showing the presence of love. So we are a choice. We get to have happiness as part of our being. Now, he does point out that there are two things that keep us from happiness. There's a misunderstanding of reality, and the reality of our lives and the reality of everything is that everything is spiritual. There's also a very good book by that title that we have in the lending library by a gentleman named Rob Bell. Everything is spiritual, and it's through this practice of love and compassion that we get to understand our oneness and our unity. The second thing that keeps us from our happiness is if we become too self-centered in our thinking, in our acting, you know, thinking about self. And the moment we shift from the self-seeking into inner knowing our inner selves and knowing the truth of our divinity, then joy starts to come into our lives and happiness becomes our state of being. So the real journey is not from suffering to happiness, but from confusion to understanding, because understanding is happiness. Understanding our connection, understanding that each of us is an expression of that divine perfect life in individual form with unique gifts that we have. Each and every one of us is here on the mission on planet Earth that only we can do. Out of 8 billion people, only you have the exact mix of gifts and talents that you bring to bear to make the world a better place. This is wonderful news, you know. So we have 2 levels of experience the Dalai Lama talked about. Thoughts that are influenced by outer conditions. And then we have the spiritual mind, or our highest consciousness, that I am, that God within. And a lot of people get trapped in focusing on what's going on outside, looking for things outside of ourselves to make us feel whole and complete, when the truth of our being is we're already perfect, whole, and complete by divine design. Now, being spirits having this human experience, we don't always function at that level. Some of God's children are very good at concealing their divinity. But our job is to look for the good within ourselves and to look for the good with everyone we come in contact with, and look for the good in the people who we may not always agree with in terms of how they think. I think each and every one of us has a purpose. God doesn't do anything without some type of purpose, and everyone serves a purpose. We can learn from everyone here. We can learn how to step into that magnificence. We can learn how not to show up. And the things that we recognize in others that we don't find too flattering, here's the rub. If you don't have it yourself, you can't see it. Spot it, you got it. And that's the thing I have to keep in mind. So I don't look at the news very much. Because there's a lot of things within a spot that I'd like to make better or do away with. And so the 2 levels that we experience pleasure in, there's the physical level and there's the mental, spiritual level. Now, the physical sensations, things we pick up with our senses, these things are kind of fleeting. But if we want lasting joy, if we want lasting happiness, it's all these things that are within us, this divine spark that's within us, that we need to look at and recognize and find ways to cultivate so that we can make the world a better place. Starting with ourselves, rearranging that space within, and then taking that out into the world and asking ourselves, what can I do today to make somebody else's day just a little bit more pleasant? Because when we do good, we feel good. There's just an energy that we get from being of service that we can't get in any other way. And I can tell you from personal experience, it's the one thing that kind of keeps me level when it seems like everything's a little bit disastrous in my own life. The one thing that always can bring me back to center and always can get me back in touch with that sense of peace is being of service to other people in some type of way and trying to find a way to make things a little better for others around me. And this is what the Dalai Lama calls enlightened living. So enlightened living begins the moment we stop asking life to be different and start asking how I can bring more love to it. We don't have to change the letters of the radio station. WIIFM. What's in it for me? That's a lot of people's favorite radio station. But we can use the same letters. What's in it from me? And just that one shift in create an amazing turnaround. This is that enlightened living that the Dalai Lama talks about. And compassion is actually both biological and spiritual. The biological compassion, because, having a community is something it's a survival thing for us. We recognize that interdependence that we have as people to build communities like this one. There are communities everywhere. It's a natural part of our function. It is somewhat limited, though. That's natural. But what we're talking about here and what we learned about here and what Ernest Holmes teaches us is what we call trained compassion. It's through that spiritual practice, the practice of being, that we step into wisdom and universal love. And love is a cosmic force. And love as the unconditional givingness of spirit. Compassion becomes not an emotion, but a demonstration of God. When we are compassionate with others and we show that empathy and that compassion for wherever they are, this is spiritual practice in action with people in the community, with people around us. Caring for others, caring for ourselves, caring itself is a spiritual practice. So we want to do this. We want to bring this mindfulness to all that we do. True joy blossoms when the mind is calm, the heart is open, and the world is embraced as part of oneself. The world is our oyster. It belongs to each and every one of us. We belong to each other, one another. This is the oneness that Dr. Holmes talked about. Now, there is one really, truly powerful force that the Dalai Lama talks about in the book, and it's forgiveness. Forgiveness is a very powerful mechanism for happiness. It is that thing that frees us from negative energy. It's releasing the contraction of ego. It's clearing our subconscious. It's allowing spirit to flow freely through us. Forgiveness won't erase the past, but it makes sure that that past doesn't become our present. Forgiveness isn't forgetting the past. It's refusing to let our past be our present. It liberates us. Because what does that energy do? If we have a grievance that we carry, I don't know about you guys, but I blew way through the statute of limitation of blaming stuff on my parents. And it occurred to me after a while that, I had been mad at them years after they had transitioned. Let me tell you, it doesn't do anything for you to be mad at dead people. Because if they find you trying to dig them up to chew them out, they're probably going to lock you up. It doesn't do any good. It definitely does no good for people who are still here even. Because what happens is that negative energy dampens our spirit, dampens our natural radiance. And I've tried this before. I've been up just kind of tossing and turning at 2 a.m. plotting somebody's demise that I was upset with. I'm pretty sure they were sleeping just fine. So it doesn't provide any benefit to this other person. It doesn't provide me any benefit. It does not impact that other person. They're probably sleeping fine. They're just doing what they can. If I'm assuming that folks are doing the best they can, I don't have to hold on to anything. Any type of attachment, even to something that's good, can create problems for us. So forgiveness is really powerful and keeping our lives in order. And it is only a human quality. God doesn't forgive anything because he never holds anything against any of us. So this is a tool that has been given to us for our growth, for our benefit and our good, and it can help increase your happiness if you use it liberally. The Dalai Lama talked about wisdom, seeing reality clearly. This clarity is the ability to see things as they truly are. Reality isn't fixed, it's fluid, responsive, and shaped by our consciousness. What is it that I see in the world? What are the things that I notice? What am I going to see? Whatever I look for. Do I want to look for everything that's wrong? Because I can find all sorts of things that are wrong. But where the practice that we learn about here comes in is that we start looking for the good in everything. Where's God? And you will see God in everything. All you have to do is look around. If you're outdoor on the hike, it's a perfect place to do it. You will see nature unfold. You will see all of God's creatures in action and moving around. You know, the funny thing about all of us that God created and all the creatures that God created to populate this planet, we're the only ones that try to be something different from what we are. You don't see birds trying to be bears. You don't see bears trying to be tigers. You don't see fish trying to be frogs. They're themselves. They know their purpose, they know their place, and they are there. And we have volition, which is an ability to live by choice. And this is the gift that humanity was given. So I think we could do a better job of making use of that. And when we gather together in spaces like this here and come together as a community, we're using that faculty wisely. We build that wisdom, you know. Wisdom sees we are connected, and compassion helps us live it. So every day I'm learning a little bit more. I'm a little bit smarter than I look. But libraries are filled with what I don't know. And so the idea of being open at the top, which will be the 2026 theme for the year, open at the top. That's what all of our messages will be built on for the Centers for Spiritual Living next year. And that's being open. It's being teachable, willing to accept change, and having a desire to learn. And if you don't have both of them, even if you got 100% desire to learn and 0% willingness to accept change, well, 0 times 100 is 0. So we have to be open at the top, you know. Outer peace is impossible without inner peace. I can't find my peace on the shelf at the grocery store or out there or in anything that I go seeking. It's sitting still and getting in touch with that divine source inside. This is where peace lives. That's the place I need to go look for that. As our Dr. Holmes so often teaches, if we change our thinking, we change our lives. So much depends on our thinking. That's both good news and bad news, because the good news of that is that we are at choice. We don't have to surrender to circumstances appearing to be bad. We come together, we've got other people to turn to. We understand that whatever takes place passes. We can be in that place and know that God is always there and that peace is ours. We can reach for it. Peace is not passive. It's the active understanding that frees the heart. What a wonderful book. Loads of really wonderful quotes in there. Wisdom sees that nothing stands alone. Compassion feels that no one should stand alone. Compassion surrounds us. The deepest peace is born when the mind understands and the heart forgives. The heart is actually a better decision-making muscle than the brain is. The brain is kind of where that ego self lives. And we can get stuck in a false sense of self from time to time. Start looking at appearances. Start comparing ourselves to other people. Well, there's a place that's a real exercise in futility. Because the problem with comparing ourselves to other people is that we're judging our insides by their outsides. 2 words, social media. There's a playground for that false sense of comparison to things that can really throw us off. So the Dalai Lama not necessarily having a religious practice, talks about what he calls secular ethics. What he means by those are things like compassion, kindness, responsibility, honesty, and nonviolence. He did say at one time that his religion was kindness. So these are the same universal spiritual qualities that we work with here. So science of mind, love, peace, wisdom, unity, harmony. They're very spiritual in nature. So happiness is not necessarily a reward that we get for good living. Happiness is just the expression of our true nature. That is the natural state of our being. When we care for others, we discover the most ancient truth of being human. We belong to each other. This connectedness that we share is something that's just a great gift. It's something that moves us in the direction of joy. Joy is our natural state. It is the nature of our being. When we release fear, ego, and separation, we don't achieve joy. We simply come back to it. We return to it. This is enlightened living. This is the joy of our being. Finally, happiness isn't something that we find. It's something we bring to each moment through the clarity of our mind and the warmth of our heart. You don't have to look for happiness. All you got to do is bring it with you. It's already in there. It's like, a few of you have been around a few days, and you remember the commercial that there was a spaghetti sauce that was called Ragu. Not Ragu, but Ragu was a popular brand, but now the brand escapes me. But, it was on TV, and there was a young man who was talking to his mother. They were Italians. He brought home a jar of spaghetti sauce. This was sacrilege for her. It's just like, what are you doing with this stuff in the jar? So she started quizzing him about the ingredients. And, is there oregano? Is there, And he just looked at it. He said, Ma, it's already in there already. Happiness is like that spaghetti sauce. Prego, that's the name of the stuff, Prego. I knew it would come back to me. I don't know why Mickey doesn't remember these things, to write them down so that I don't forget them. I'm going to have a word with Mickey about doing a better job of preparing my notes. But it's already in there already, was the message. We don't have to go look for these things. The happiness is already in here, and all we have to do is go inside and bring it out. And if we want to multiply it, here's where things get tricky. We make an effort to go give it to somebody. Whose day can I make better? What can I do? How can I make things a little bit better than they are in this moment? So that's what we do. We got to give it away to keep it. What a beautiful paradox that is in so many different areas of our lives. So this is at our disposal. We can just do this. We can do this. So let's just take a moment. I'd like for you to just sit back in your chairs, close your eyes, and just take a deep, refreshing breath. Breathe in the allness of God. Breathe in love. Breathe in that happiness. Open your minds and your hearts to the idea that you are perfect in every way, just like you are. Breathe in the idea that your life matters. Breathe out any stress. Know that you are worth your own very best effort in everything that you do. Know deep in your heart that there is never, ever anything to fix because you are love. Love is present in you. Feel the presence of love. Feel the love in this room at this very moment. From all of these beautiful expressions of the divine around you. And make that decision both in your heart and mind that today I am open to the presence of that love. I allow the light within me to shine out into the world brightly. I release any thought that might obscure my joy. I am compassion. I am wisdom. I am peace. I am the joy of being, expressing fully and freely without limitation. I give thanks for this opportunity to serve. I give thanks for your radiance and your beauty and the divinity of your being. I give thanks for all the love and joy in this room that adds to my happiness in every moment of every day, knowing that I am surrounded by this one perfect life and unique individual expressions that are each and every one of you here in this space at this time. And in this season of gratitude, I look forward to working as a community to spread happiness everywhere we go, love and joy everywhere we go, as we work together to make a world that works for everyone. And I give thanks for each and every one of you here in this space, for everyone within the sound of my voice, for everyone on planet Earth, knowing that it is all good, it is all God. Release these words into the law that knows how to mold, make, shape, and create all the good there is everywhere, all of the time. And so it is.
Even a sound guy screws up sometimes. Seems I've got to have a change of scene. Every night I have the strangest dreams. Imprisoned by the way it could have been. Led here on my own, or so it seems. I've got to leave before I start to scream. Won't someone lock the door and turn the key? And feeling alright. Not feeling too good myself. I'm feeling alright. Not feeling too good myself. Ooh, boy, you sure took me for one big ride. And even now I got to wonder why. That when I think of you, I stop myself from crying. I just can't waste my time, I must keep trying. Got to stop believing in all your lies. 'Cause there's too much to do before I die. Being alright. Not feeling too good myself. Ooh, I'm feeling alright. Oh no. Not feeling too good myself. Ooh. Ken Jansen, everybody. Don't you get too lost in all I say. Yeah, but at the time, you know, I really felt that way. That was then, and now you know it's today. I can't escape, I guess I'm here to stay. Till someone comes along and takes my place. With a different name, or in a different place. I'm feeling alright. I'm not feeling too good myself. Oh no. Oh, I'm feeling alright. Yeah. Not feeling too good myself. Oh no, I'm not. I'm feeling alright. Oh no. I'm not feeling too good myself. I'm feeling good. Oh no. I'm feeling alright. Oh no. I'm not feeling too good myself. Good myself. Oh.
You're feeling
Right. Thank you, everybody.